There it goes.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Jive Time Turkeys. Your host A Prince on Twitter, Jive Time Turkeys on Instagram, also on YouTube. This episode, I'm joined by.
I guess I'll go first. Star Life Daniels. Check me on all platforms. Star Life Daniels, Star Life Collection, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. What's up, good people?
What up? What up? It's the other Gemini Dre, Honest Tees, but today's episode is brought to you by the Star Life Collection. And yeah, passing over to either Shannon or Steve. I put the pressure on one of them.
Yo, Greasy Grandpappy.
There you go.
And Mr. S. Carter 1 on Twitter. I ain't on nothing else because I don't want y'all stalking me.
All right. Thank you, fellas, for joining us. We're going to start off with the big news of the week here in DC and kind of in the NBA in general. The trade between the Washington Wizards and Houston Rockets, which sent John Wall and a protected first-round pick to the Rockets with Russell Westbrook coming back to the Wizards. And I'll just start it off by saying the reaction, I was weirded out by two things. One, I was weirded out by the fans who try to act like John Wall wasn't, like, one, a top-notch player when he was here, but two, help revive the Wizards franchise. And then the other thing I was shocked by was, like, the people who said the Wizards trading was the same old Wizards. And I was shocked by that because, like, I saw it somewhere else. I think Mike Wilbon said it in correlation to the Rockets and James Harden. But once the superstar is unhappy, like, that's pretty much it. Like, they can't – it's not salvageable. So, like, once John Wall said he wanted to be traded, you had to trade him. And I think they did it before they started camp. So, to me, it was a step in the right direction. Like, all right, we're not going to be wishing and hoping he suddenly changes his mind or gets happy again. So I want to know what you guys think about the trade in terms of on court, and then also just in terms of, like, John Wall leaving DC. Somebody pick it up.
I think it was good for both teams. Like, people in DC complaining about what they got in return. What were you going to trade John Wall for? What are you going to trade his contract for? Who's going to pick that up after 2 years of not playing? So if you can, I don't know, maybe you can flip Westbrook into something else. We'll see, but like you said, once John Wall was unhappy, you got to get him up out of here. He had to go.
I'm still. I don't think he had to be. I don't think I would have tried it, just because I still was interested in seeing how he was going to bounce back and his history with the team and with the city. I think that would have smoothed things over. That was my hope. That was the best case scenario. Now I tend not to think about the worst case scenario, so I would go with that. And just the way that he's going out the door, I would think that he would have came off of that. That's just me, but still, I'm excited because it's an all NBA player that's coming to play for the Wizards. I'm interested to see the dynamic of how him and Brad mesh. Seeing how Russ is, like, as far as basketball goes, he's an alpha on the basketball court. Like, one of the biggest things why I wanted to leave, what was reported, was because the GM Tommy Shepard said that it was Brad's team. So, like, now whose team is it really? Like, so it's going to be interesting. How is Russ going to come in? Is he going to come in and like, I'm the man? But Brad's been here and we've seen his ascension to, I say, a top 15 player in the league. Is Russ still the top 15 player in the league? So it's going to be interesting. So, but then I'm also of the mindset like, well, a lot of people feel Russ has fallen off, and even I kind of like in the bubble and like later in the season, like his explosion isn't really there. But hopefully that'll be back. Maybe he did have the quad injury, and he did contract COVID. So let's see how he bounces back. I'm excited, but I'm always excited for Wizard season. So we'll see how it goes.
E, what you got?
Well, I remember when John Wall got to DC, the excitement around that. I remember those days. But since I'm on the other end of it, I don't really have a good DC perspective of it. But from Houston, we didn't want Russ to go, but he had to go because I think him and Harden. I mean, we talked about it before, but they just didn't mesh good, man. Russ' inability to shoot just made it difficult for the whole scheme and just for them working together. Russ needs the ball. He needs to attack, penetrate, kick, rebound, do his triple-double thing. And that wasn't hard. That wasn't happening with Harden because Harden needs to, make his moves and step backs and have the ball himself. So, it was I didn't think it was a good trade in the first place. And it was inevitable that they had to split up. I also think that because Russ is now a family man and Harden isn't, I think that was another little clash that they had with some things that was going on around Harden. That's just a rumor that I heard, but yeah, I saw my man Harden drop like $500,000 on Lil Baby the other day, so I don't know what's going on with that nigga. So, but yeah.
Wait, Lil Baby or Lil Baby the rapper?
Lil Baby the rapper.
$500,000 on what?
Just gave it to him.
Yeah.
Like a bag of like 200, and then gave him some money. Like, hey. But I think he down here too. I think Lil Baby got a house down here in Houston too. So I don't know if it was like
tax write-off or some shit. Gifts.
So
I know Harden got a lot of money, but $500,000. Come on, man.
But it was like, my exaggeration, but it was like 300, 350.
He just gave
it. It was
his birthday.
It's his birthday.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, that's us saying it, but that's his homeboy. That's
$200,000 on a birthday gift, man.
That's how rich people birthday. I guess.
I guess George Clooney dumped off
million. So
no,
this sounds like the prequel to another broke episode.
Man, Harden ain't going broke, bro. He going broke.
He sold. When he got $100 million deal with Adidas, just it's bad on that. He's
going broke.
And he about to get another contract.
That's like
what the fuck?
What I did want to say is I think Westbrook, we could have an analogy, and it probably fits the same timeline of when KD went to the Warriors. How that was Steph's team, but for that time. And all of it's actually kind of eerie that it's the same parallel. Like Westbrook can't come in and be a bad teammate because for whatever reason, I don't know if Houston put it out or whatever, but like there are whispers of like, he's not a good teammate, which actually like is far from the truth, but he still can't come in and lay fire to the Wizards in his stint there. Cause I don't think he finishes his contract with the Wizards. So I think
that was part of that. part of that family stuff. Like he wasn't hanging out and stuff like that.
Right.
He
But
was
now
hanging
Bill,
out. Russ wasn't hanging out.
but
So
Bill also has
I don't think it was a bad teammate like that. Like in the locker room, he wanted to be serious about business, and then everybody wasn't really around that all the time. And then he wasn't hanging out with them on the other end, so it made it kind of clashy like that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, though.
But
Nice to see.
on the court, what do you think how the Rockets going to be with John Wall and Boogie Cousins and adding Christian Wood and bringing Gerald Green back in the mix?
I actually think it's going to be better because John Wall is not like Westbrook, and he's coming off injury. So I think it's going to be that position a step back because he's not like Chris Paul was like freaking dictator. Russ was like, I need the ball and, about business and all full out. Well, John Wall's not like that. So I think that dynamic of not being confrontational with Harden would definitely help the situation of the team, everybody flowing, Harden being a little more happy, but Harden still ain't showed up to practice yet, though.
What's that about?
You can say what you want about Chris Paul being confrontational. They were still really good with him.
Yeah, I mean, on the court, that wasn't an issue. Playing, that wasn't an issue.
It seemed like it was during timeouts. But they were still winning, so I guess I don't know how much it.
So sideline that question is like, so from my perspective, I feel like I think it was good for Wall to get out of whatever commotion DC gonna get, right? Good, bad, or different. Like it wasn't gonna be. The fans will love it if all one, but upper management gonna have to be executed, not gonna vibe it, right? That's all. We all agree with that point, right? So I think the leaving DC is a net positive for John Wall. In any city, just starting off fresh, net positive. More than him spending years, just due to all the positive. Russ leaving for the same reason is a net positive. I'm not talking about the team he landed on, but just leaving that situation based off whatever was there could be a net positive. Them I think it's both quote unquote net positives, but I wonder the impact to those who remain. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we're asking the fellas for this. Like, did Harden gain or lose? And did Bill gain or lose? And I pull that. I don't know. I'm just saying. I could clearly see that in my opinion, Harden got a bet. Harden. Once again, Wall better situation just in terms of getting out of this situation, and then Russ as well. He gets to be anew and whatever he is. But for the impact of Bill and Harden, what's their net positive one way or the other? Net gain one way or the other in this transaction? Do you feel?
Yeah, I think Bill probably, I don't know. I think in terms of just on the court stuff, Bill probably came out the best, more so than Harden. I think, I don't know. I'm still skeptical of Harden being able to adjust with not having the ball all 20 of the 24 seconds. Even if I think, because the problem for me isn't that they won't get him the ball. The problem is when he doesn't have the ball, he tends to go stand in the corner and be a lame duck. And that's not going to help anyone on the team if he does that. So for me, it's like if he's off the ball, is he okay with cutting through and not getting the ball every time he cuts? Like cutting through so Boogie now has a free lane because now Boogie Man takes a step towards Harden or something like that. Like, is he okay with that? Because previously up till now, he hasn't been okay with that. Like, if he doesn't have the ball, you literally are playing 4-on-5. And it's like, oh, he's conserving his energy. But it's like, yo, you're fucking up the offense because now they know you're not doing anything. So that part, I think there's still going to be a good chunk of, like, working that out whenever he comes to camp. I think he eventually has to realize he's not going to get to Brooklyn. Like, I just don't know how that happens. And if he does go to Brooklyn, it's just going to be the three of them and nothing else because Brooklyn's going to have to give up pretty much everything to get him.
What you got, Lou? You're on mute. Mute.
I should have just put me on mute randomly. That's cool. All right. So at some point, these athletes, I mean, he's basically won every individual award that he was going to win. I think in his mind, I hope he needs to realize that, all right, at some point, something has to change to where I can put myself in the best position to win the championship. And the closest he's been to winning the championship was when he was in OKC, and he filled in the gaps as the sixth man, as the primary not primary ball handler, but primary playmaker when it came to winning time with the Thunder. Like, he's going to have to change that game. That dribbling the ball, the air out the ball, isn't going to work, and he has to know that. Steven Silas has to put that in his head. John Wall has to let him know that. DeMarcus Cousins, at some point, it's going to have to be a come to Jesus moment. He's going to have to change his game, and I'm hoping that happens. Selfish reasons that I'm not going to get into. With you good, you good late.
Oh man, come on, baby.
But no, I mean, I'm not going to go into a blind spot right now. I just think the team that they're putting together, this may be his most complete and talented team since he's been in Houston. But it's really going to take him realizing that he can't try to do it all himself. And I'm hoping that he can do it. I think that it behooves him to do that. So I'm excited to see how the Houston Rockets work, but he needs to get in camp and they need to get to work. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, anyone else got anything to add on that trade? Before we bring up the Christmas.
Why are you thinking he didn't go to camp yet? What's the word on that? I guess more of a Steve question, but why ain't sure? Mute.
He still wants to be traded.
What you say, Steve?
He still wants to be traded. That's the word.
So those reports of him getting over it, do you think those were false? That he's on board now. That's what was said. That came out last week. I saw something say that.
To be honest, he's here in Houston working out at the University of Houston, which is right down the street from where the team is working out. Like, I don't understand, but I mean, I guess this is his home, but still, like, if I'm not gonna sit out, I'll be in Miami or somewhere or something else, doing something on a beach somewhere or something. So I don't know. They said Steve Silas said they're gonna just give him some space. So it's whatever. But I'm pretty sure DeMarcus Cousins sound like he talked to him, and John Wall's like the word is they talk. So I'm assuming that now it's more like I'm just a veteran and I don't want to show up to camp on time type of deal. But
almost said it.
No.
Almost said blind spot. Let me slow down before I drive into the blind spot. Last question for having this topic. Is DeMarcus starting game one or he still needs some time?
No, yeah, he will be starting game.
He's starting game one? Like he's healthy. He's ready to go?
Yeah.
He's healthy, yeah.
Well,
So
I don't know about starting though, to be honest with you.
I mean he's gonna play. He's gonna be in, like, they can call his number. He can get in the game on the first game, right? Okay.
I don't think he's a starter. But that's PJ Tucker still mad about how he was used.
Yeah, PJ Tucker mad.
But he wasn't really mad about how he. I think he wants more money for the sacrifice that he made.
I'm about to say for all the work he does. Yeah,
wrestling with them 7-footers and 250-pound, 260, 270 jokers.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody walking on his back every day during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so transitioning to the Christmas Day slate of games. I figured we could talk about them from beginning noon to 10:30 kickoff.